Okay, so hi everyone. Welcome to Remembrance Podcast. So today we have Ramez Shamieh, a dear brother of mine that I met about 3 years ago at Dr. Joe Dispenza's retreat and in San Diego. And Ramez is a father, a husband, a DJ, a breathwork facilitator, and a lawyer
Yes.
with his firm based in Texas, right? In Dallas,
Yes.
called Shamieh Law.
You
Shamieh
got
Law.
it.
And yeah, if I remove also all the titles, I see a man with a huge heart, with the capacity to be truly present, with deep, deep compassion and generosity that really ripples out in the lives of so many. And yeah, Ramez, it's such a blessing to have you on the podcast. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, is there anything that you'd like to add to your introduction? Any details?
Wow. Thank you. I'm honored to be here. Especially this is your first one. And so it's just a blessing um to share with the viewers. So we met and then after the week-long retreat, 7 days of meditating, 12, 14 hours a day, you're just pumping your whole being is just pumping full of life and creativity, and the synchronicities are just all over the place. And I decided to go eat a healthy meal. And then when I got to that place to have a healthy meal, I asked them where should I go. Afterwards I wanted to go to the beach, so they told me a spot in San Diego, and I went really deep into the cliffs, and I just started meditating and reading Eckhart Tolle Power of Now. And as I got pretty deep into the book, these crazy birds were flying and coming down and attacking fish. And I remember I was just beaming full of life. And after I finished reading and after seeing the birds, maybe an hour later getting sun, I started to walk back through the cliffs to then go to my hostel, and I ran into you. And it's like, how is this even possible?
I know.
And so it was just a blessing to connect with you then. And then you stayed at our house at the second dispenser retreat here in Dallas. And yet now here we are. So everything you said about me, I can say the same about you. I'm honored to be here and share whatever wisdom I have.
Thank you. Yeah, I remember that moment. It's gonna stay forever in my mind, because we met in such a synchronistic way. I don't have any other words for that. You
Is
were
it?
alone in the beach. Like there was no one. It was like on a cliff, and I was on my own in a random place, and you had a flower in your hand, and you were just like walking, and I see you, and you were like, oh, I just picked this flower and I wanted to offer that to someone. So there you are, and we started to speak, and we just realized we were in the same hotel and we were neighbors.
that, that,
And yeah, so as I was just sharing with you um, in our little introduction before the starting the podcast, it just makes sense for us to be here today.
yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Honored to be here. Thank you.
thank you. Yeah, so yeah, I want to start with this question. How are you today? How are you feeling, my brother?
Yeah. So everything you said from the names, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a business owner. Um, I'm feeling that I'm putting a lot of attention on what's sacred to me. And I was asked that. I was on vacation for the past 3 weeks. I'm just getting back into town. And I was asked that question, what does that mean, while I was on vacation? And what it means is treating the things that I value the most in my life in the way that it should be treated. The preciousness of those things. So, for example, my wife, my kid, my business, the way I move my body, it's really
Mm-hmm.
important to me. The way I think, the way I eat and drink water, and just trying to treat my life as the abundance that it is.
Hmm.
So I'm also Palestinian Christian, and I'm seeing what's happening to my people in different parts of the world. And while all of this amazing things are happening in my life and the sacredness of life, there's a part of me that continues to grieve, um, deep grief, deep sadness for humanity, not just my people, but for the whole humanity, because I know deeply that we're all connected, right? We're all connected, and it doesn't matter that you're Jewish and I'm Palestinian. We're connected. We look alike, we talk alike, we act alike, we like the same interests, we like the same shit. And the only thing that's different from me to a Jewish person is my mindset, my
Hmm.
belief system. Um, and so, it's just sad that we cannot figure this out, and the greed of the world is affecting the beauty of the world.
Oh yeah. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. It's yeah, it's very inspiring to just to hear you speak on that. I feel this is one of the reasons why I invited you on the podcast, because I feel from my perspective I'm here as someone that I know what's happening, but I don't feel I have like the proper um, statements to speak on it. So that's why I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make space for someone that has roots there, and yeah, and to hear your perspective, and yeah, I'm. There's a first question that comes to me is, you are a lawyer, you have a law firm, and I'm wondering how does this um how is does this plays out with the fact that you come from a country that, yeah, there are atrocities playing out, there's war, like I'm curious about the link, like how when did you say to yourself, I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to make justice?
Wow. Maybe before I knew it. So to give everybody a background, I grew up in Louisiana in a small country town. My dad was from Lud, which is now Tel Aviv, and then my mom was born in Mount Olive. And in order for my dad to leave the country, he had to be the top of his class, like every high school, college, medical school, to get even out of the Middle East. So he wanted to be a doctor, and so he was number one in his class at every level. And so eventually he got out of the country and came to America, and he had a fellowship in Houston, which is about 2 hours away from Lake Charles. And so he had known after 1967, there was the 1967 war. A lot of the Palestinians got pushed to Ramallah. It's in the West Bank. And so my mom and my dad, they're 8 years apart. They lived on one. My dad lived on the top of the hill. My mom lived on the bottom. So they knew of each other. Long story short, my dad went to Baylor Medical School in Houston.
Hmm.
Went back one summer, proposed to my mom 3 days ago, 50 years ago.
Wow, that's so special.
We're having their 50th anniversary tomorrow. Um, so proposed, and they got married a week later. That's why we're having the anniversary party. And then moved to
Wow.
Houston, and they did not like the big city, so they found the small country city, Lake Charles, probably the most interesting place on earth, and and they settled there. And so then I played soccer growing up. I went to SMU, so I wanted to. Going back to your question, I wanted to play soccer my whole life. It was. I remember from the earliest days, I'd sleep with a soccer ball. Maradona was my favorite soccer player, um, and so I didn't necessarily want to be a lawyer. But after my career was over, there was a school in Louisiana. It's called Tulane. Um, they have the best sports law program in the country. So I thought when I watched Jerry Maguire, I wanted to be a sports agent. So I went to law school for that reason. I wanted to be a sports agent. And then I finished Tulane. There was a big hurricane in New Orleans, so the job market was terrible. And I moved back to Dallas. And you know my friend Tyler, he was living here at the and so basically it was Tyler and a better job market, and I moved back to Dallas. While I was here, I found a job where the law firm represented the Dallas Cowboys. And so they wanted to bring me in to do a sports agent. So I started helping them, trying to set it up. And then in 2010, I don't know if I told you this, my brother, we were leaving a bar one night and a, a drunk guy hit him and fled the scene, like literally ran him over. And he's doing better now. He's fine. But from that, that's when I kind of shifted and I said, okay, I need to help people like my brother that get wronged or somebody injures them. And so that's when I shifted in 2010. I had no interest in being in litigation or really focused on justice until then. That's what shifted it. And so now, I'm using my business to I know to find more purpose and meaning in providing people justice and then speaking out against injustice. And I think growing up, I'll tell you this, I was very fearful of speaking out or, I was. Which is interesting. I'm outspoken, but I now what I know now is I can't live in fear. When there's something that I know to be true or I believe it to be true, I'm going to speak out. Here's the deal: the things that I educate myself on and I have firsthand experience, those are the things that I want to speak out on. If I don't have any clue about the topic or I haven't experienced it, I'm going to keep my mouth shut or I'm going to ask questions, right? So
Amen.
that's where I am, right now in my life. If I understand the topic and I've experienced it and I get many different perspectives, I'd love to speak out.
I love that. Yeah, there is a sacredness and wisdom in telling, I don't know. I don't know, and I'm gonna ask and I'm gonna learn and I'm gonna, yeah, I love that.
Or, that's interesting. That doesn't really go with what I believe, but let me keep exploring, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, so the audience here are people walking, on their path of self-discovery, their path of remembering their inherent wholeness, right? And on this path, I feel like what I've been experiencing is that it can be a trap to think that there's a certain way to do things, to be spiritual, to be connected to who you are, to look a certain way. And so from that place, I want to ask you, yeah, how do you perceive your path as being deeply connected to who you are, your path that is being really spiritual?
Yeah. I think the first thing I would do is making sure I'm aligned. And the way I make sure I'm aligned is taking care of myself. So focusing on my sleep from the minute I wake up. Like this morning, I woke up, first thing I did, took off my shirt, went outside. First thing, got in the grass, just kind of played around. Um, Making sure I'm eating properly, making sure I'm checking in with myself and making sure what I need. Because if I'm not feeling well, I'm probably vibrating at a lower frequency. And then I'm going to think and make decisions from that place.
Hmm.
So the first thing I would say is make sure you're taking care of yourself because your decision making is going to be better. You're going to be thinking clearer. And then really having honest conversations with yourself about what you're doing and what you're not doing. And then earlier today, every every Friday at 10 a.m. I go speak to somebody. I get perspective, um, and because I think all of us, to a certain degree, some of us more than others, we're blind. We're not seeing the full picture. And so and I think there's been a huge misconception about going to counselors or talking to somebody. I do it regularly. It makes my life so much fuller, and I see, I just get different perspectives on things that I may be missing in my business, in my personal life, in my relationship with my wife, in my relationship with my kid. And so that's been huge. And then just really um, trying to be authentic in everything I'm doing and putting service above everything else. So
Mm,
service begins with myself. I need to serve me in an authentic way. I need to serve my wife. I need to serve my kid. I need to serve my business. I need to serve my clients. And if I'm not taking care of myself, I can't serve anybody.
yeah, brother, it's very, very inspiring. And I was asking you because, you could see like in this conscious community, people telling, I need to quit everything and to get out of the matrix or system. It's like, I know it's everywhere. It's like, it's all about what you do every single moment. What do you do in your work? And, and to be that incredible glitch in the matrix in some way.
I think the biggest thing people struggle with is like they want to dissociate from reality. We are on this earth. We are part of the matrix. We're not separate from it. We're part of it. The matrix has rules. We have to play with it. Time is a real fucking thing. We have to
It is.
respect it. We have to respect other people's times. And we have to play by the rules. There definitely, to me, is a connection to God and to source. And at the same time, I am physical. I'm here. And there's a certain set of rules that we need to operate from. And we can't dissociate from that reality. And so, you know, I'm very grateful I have the awareness I have, which is limited. Um, but yeah, I need to play by the rules. And my being brought me here. Why did they bring me here? I'm sure to do something.
Yeah.
So
Wow. When you were sharing that, I just had the memory of, when we were walking in the street after we just crossed path in San Diego, and I was just seeing you saying hi to people, but not in a way like hi, like love and like, no, hi to everyone in the street, like, hi, I'm here, I'm present for you, how are you, without any like extractive energy, without trying. It's like, I'm just here, hi. And that was like, that really like hit something in me, I was
that's
like, this
awesome.
is, yeah, that
So
was, yeah, very inspiring.
that's all. I didn't know that. So growing up in Louisiana in a small town, everybody says hi to everybody. Just and it's not just hey, how you doing? Great. Like people actually care um, about you, and there's a you just feel it when you're there. Um, I live now in Dallas, Texas. I don't feel that here. And it's interesting. So if I walked out of my office right now and I just walked down the road, 90% of the people would be looking down or on their phone. And it's so interesting that this is the kind of the world we're living in, but I want to interact with people. It's just cool that we're on a rock going in circles and spinning around and there's another person that can talk to me. It's like, wait, why not talk to the person? Maybe I have an experience like I had with you and it develops into something cool, a cool friendship, and or maybe it's nothing. And I just feel, it's just natural for me to do that. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, of course. And I feel also it is connected to the fact that you've been walking with this, yeah, you've been walking a path of alchemy. Like, I feel like, when I see someone like that, I'm like, whoa, he's not in the illusion of separation anymore. He's like, he's fully here. And to
Thank
be
you.
to be able to walk from that place, I don't know all of what you've done, but it's just I feel that from
Thank
what
you.
you
Yeah,
embody, your
thank
energy.
you.
So
I
yeah.
forgot about that until you told me. That's cool. But yeah, that's me. I don't I like when I pass somebody, I want to look them in the eyes. Um, I'm kind of shifting topics, but this is what popped in my head. So I do a practice called movement, and it's animalistic style of moving using the floor, the walls, bars, and it's unbelievable. It literally, there's you just feel like you're an animal going back to primitive times. The first time I walked into the studio, Megan, I walk in, everybody's finishing the practice, and as they're finishing, everybody just stops what they're doing. They look at me and they go, "How you doing? What's your name?" And it's like it was just such a uh, uh, fresh breath of air to have them do that. And I told them right away, this is my new home. I already know it. And I've been going 3 times a week ever since. And it's literally changed my life. And everybody that's there still says, how you doing? It's just really cool to find community and community of people that actually care about you and, are looking at you and, and genuinely just want to say hi. So thank you for bringing that up.
Of course. Yeah, so to continue on this topic, yeah, as we were speaking, there's this very ancient shadow of the human race that is deeply embedded in each and every one of us that is called victimization, being a victim. And that literally blocks us to feel free. That blurs our dreams, our visions, our creativity, and and to see, like, that blocks us to see all the possibilities in our lives. So I speak on it as I see you in constant creation. Like, you have your firm, you are a DJ, you are creating events, and you are creating so much, and you have also a kid, a family. And so yeah, for maybe the people that feel this like stuckness in their path, what would you recommend or say for them to take action, to connect more to their dreams despite, the emotions, the fear? Like, what do you have to say about that?
Take out a sheet of paper, write down what your desire is, your dream, your goal, whatever it is, write it down, stick it on your front door, and every day put a little bit of energy towards getting to that. And the idea, if the person, for example, let's say I want to go to Italy on a trip. That's my dream. Okay. Let's say the belief is I don't have the money to do it right now. Okay. Looking at that, because that's a belief, looking at that belief and seeing if you can change the belief. Because once you change the belief, you're going to change the outcome. So, literally, if you think you don't have the money right now to do it, you're not going to go. it's You're already cutting yourself off. So, opening up the door to I'm going to make enough money, or I'm going to figure out a way. And then again, it's not just, we cannot just manifest and then, a bag of money comes down from the sky. We need to take action. And so, whatever it is the person wants, listen to yourself. Your intuition is telling you things, kind of like you with this podcast. This was at one point you had the thought and then you took action on it, and now here we are. And so, the same thing, just keep asking yourself, what belief is preventing me from doing this? What belief, you know, is stopping me from doing this? So that's what I would tell your viewers. Just start with writing it down. What's the idea? And then also writing down what you don't want is just as important as what you want, because sometimes what you don't want will get you to where you want.
Hmm.
And then playing with it, making it fun, making it, um, something that's achievable with simple little goals, simple daily goals to get you there. But anything is possible, as you know. Um, you just have to be willing to believe it is.
Yeah, I've heard something. I don't remember exactly the perfectly the quote, but it was telling about like the fact that you are working on your dreams, your vision. It is being a disciple to your dreams and vision. Being a disciple, you have to walk and to take those little actions to feed that vision, that dream. That for me, the dreams and the desires, they're important. And and again, it's for me, they're holy. They're from God because it's like it's something that is seated in you. And why it's here? It's because it's here. Like yesterday, I was outside of the city and I was seeing these beautiful homes near the lake, and I was seeing them, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's so beautiful!" I just felt so inspired, and on the moment, I was like, "Oh, that is God speaking right now." It shows me this is what you desire. You want a home close to a lake, you know.
Yes,
And what I've been noticing also is inside of my mind straight away it was like, oh my God, I don't have this right now, I'm feeling separated from this. And then I noticed this pattern of like feeling separated, and then you just let this idea on the side, and then you feel like frustrated. And no, it's here. It's something that is meant to inspire you, to seed this dream in you, and for you to walk towards it. God is like, hey, it's possible, so let's go create that together.
yeah, I believe your future plan is already in this moment. You just need to connect to it to bring it to you, but it's already
Mhm.
there. So this feeling you're having is the feeling of already having it.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? You
Yeah.
already that feeling that came up for you of, oh, this is what I want. It's already there. It's already in your future. It's on the line. You just need to walk the line to it. And then one more thing that I think gets maybe overlooked is like some people may wonder like, okay, like how do I pay attention to my intuition? One thing that works for me is whenever I'm on a plane, for whatever reason, whenever I'm traveling and I'm on a plane, my mind ideas just start popping out. It's crazy. And I have my little note in my phone
Mhm.
and it just starts spitting out. I don't know if it's the altitude, I don't know if it's the excitement of going on a trip, maybe it's all of it. But for the viewers, maybe there's a place, and maybe right before bed, sometimes I have really cool ideas. But pay attention to any place you have a park, whatever, where you know in the past you've had really good intuitive ideas, and visit those places often because that's typically where your intuition is going to be speaking louder,
Hmm.
you know? So yeah,
Yeah.
just a little tip that I have that I've been really paying attention to. When I'm on a plane, really cool
Same.
things happen.
I know, me too. The downloads, they're insane. I don't know why. I'll be curious. I'd be very curious to know why, because I've been meditating on the plane, and these have been my craziest meditations that I had.
Let me tell you something
Literally.
crazy that happened on Saturday. So we flew back. We were in Salt Lake City. By the way, Salt Lake is nuts. Park City, Salt Lake. I loved it. We were in Wyoming, drove down. So I'm doing a similar podcast to you. And I wanted to do the next series on attorneys and judges that inspire me. And there's one lady, she's very famous from our field, and she does weekly meditations. And I've done her meditation before, and she's a little bit older, but she's phenomenal. And so I wanted her to be on the episode. So I emailed her Friday afternoon. Saturday morning, when we we're getting ready to go to the airport, I got an email back from her saying, I want to do it. I'm in. The next email was from American Airlines. They had upgraded my seat to first class. So I looked at my wife and said, "Hey, baby, they just upgraded me. Are you okay if I go to first class?" And she's like, "Of course." So my wife and kids sat in the back and I'm in the front. I, okay, so fast forward, I'm getting on the plane. I'm looking at my seat. I'm at my seat, and there's a woman in my seat. And I was thinking to myself, how can I kindly like ask her to move over? And I said, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to sit in her seat. So I start moving by her, and then she looks up, and I look at her, and I go, "Oh my God, it's Lisa." It was the attorney that emailed
Are
me
you
that.
kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. So we spent the 2 hour flight just talking about the podcast we're going to do, and that's to me that's a big synchronicity telling me you're doing the right thing, you're following your highest desire, keep going. And
Hmm.
that would be another thing I'd tell the viewers. There's going to be signs when you make the decision to follow your highest desire, the thing that you're in an authentic way. There's going to be signs for you telling you keep going, you're on the right path. I promise you there are. And the more you pay attention to the signs, the more vivid they're going to be.
Yeah, the yeah, this is literally what happens when you choose yourself, when you choose um to feed your visions and dreams. It's like you're not alone. You're supported.
Yes.
You're gonna have thousands of hands. I think I saw this thing in this quote in The Artist's Way. I don't know if you know this book. It is insane. They say when you start to take action, know that there are gonna be thousands of hands around you helping
Mhm.
you.
Yep.
And I know that, like, it also happens to me, and I know it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. There'll be many thousands of hands, and things will come out of the woodworks in ways you least expect it. And that's the magic of life is not the known, it's the unknown. And the unknown can only be seen when you're stepping into the unknown. So,
yeah, and I feel it's a path for the braves, because it for me, stepping into the unknown brings you to remove like the fears. You have fear, but it's like you face them. You're not like letting them in your pocket. That way, if you do that, the fear are gonna grow inside of you, and it's gonna create, like, yeah, intense energy inside of you. So let's face them with courage and with love, and say, okay, I'm still gonna do it. It's here, but it's not gonna swallow me. Love that. Love that. Mm.
the the movement practice I do, it's I have a wonderful instructor, and we kind of have the same mentality. We practice every day. We move our bodies every day, whether we're tired, whether we're not feeling good, whether we're in a good mood. It's not we're not only doing it when we're feeling good. We're doing it every day because that's the test. The practice is the practice of life. And so that's the way you grow is when you're not feeling good and you're not really in the headspace to go move. Every time I do it, I feel better. And so that's the thing is like you just take the first step towards the goal, whatever that is, and then something else is going to come your way. And then, maybe one day you're not feeling good and it's gonna go up and down like a stock, but it's going up. So that's the key with the desire. You just got to keep following it and you're going to achieve it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Hmm. And let me feel into the next question.
Go ahead.
I feel what comes up right now is fatherhood, as I know you are a dad of this incredible angel on earth, Zeeland. Zeeland.
Zeeland.
What's the story of his name? I love Zeeland. It's so beautiful.
I'm going to show you. He was meditating.
My God, are you kidding me?
Look at this guy. It's kind of hard to see.
Is it levitating? It looks
Look at
like
this.
he's levitating.
He's
So
let
sweet.
he's on the couch and then on the bench. He's an angel. So
Wow.
right before COVID, my wife and I we took a trip to Australia, and we usually just fly into one city and then we figure out where we go. And so we didn't have a plan to go to New Zealand, but we ended up going there. This was, if you remember, 2020 in Australia, the fires were ravaging the whole country, and so it was just interesting to be there at that time during New Year's, um, during the fires. And so we ended up going to New Zealand. One interesting thing about New Zealand, the fires were so big that we took a helicopter ride in New Zealand, and the soot from the fires had moved over and covered the mountaintops with soot from thousands of miles away from Australia to New Zealand, and it just was bizarre. I asked the helicopter the pilot, why are the mountains brown? And he said, oh, that's from the fire. And I just that's when it hit me how massive these fires were. So going back to how we named Zeeland Zeeland, we flew into New Zealand, and our first interaction with people there, we landed, we went through customs, and they stopped us and said, "Hey, do you have any hiking boots?" We said, "No." We have, or they asked us, "Have you been hiking in different countries?" And I said, "No, we just got here from Australia." And so then we went through, but I stopped my wife and said, "I need to go find out what that meant. Why would they ask that?" So I went back to the customs guy, and he said, I asked him, why do you care about hiking boots? He said, well, if you've been hiking in a different country, we kindly take your shoes back, we clean them, and we make sure that it doesn't affect the diversity of our country. And that blew me away. And I'm sure there's, um, I'm sure there's things that the government or that the New Zealanders may or may not do that may not be uh, pro Earth and taking care of the environment, but it just was a big sign compared to America, how they approach the land and how they take care of the land. And so just to go back to Zealand's name, we just had an amazing 2 weeks there. We were vibrating very high. We were just on very connected and we weren't trying to have a baby, but the baby was ready to come out, I guess.
Wow.
And he chose
He
chose
chose
to come
to.
he chose to come out. And so we're very fortunate. He's a child full of life, like just insane amount of energy like me. And we're just very blessed. He's my biggest teacher.
Mm.
He he sometimes teaches me too much. And yeah, it just tells you another reason why I have to take care of my energy because he's so demanding of my energy. He wants to play. He wants to run around. The minute I got in from the house this morning, Dad, chase me. And so he literally, I mean, at 8 in the morning, you're chasing the kid around like it's the US, the Olympic Games. So
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
have I have to have my energy at peak performance, all day long.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love
So that's the
kids. They're
story of Zealand,
amazing.
and he's an angel. I'd love for you to see him now. He's growing up. He's 4 now.
It's four.
Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, true. I saw him. He was, yeah, one or something like that. He was a
yeah.
baby. So
He's a
cute.
being now. He's funny.
Mhm. Wow. So curious about who it's gonna become.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna
Wow.
be interesting.
And I would love to ask you about, yeah, your transition to fatherhood. I see you so passionate about your kid, and yeah, how was it been for you, this transition, to birth this angel on earth with your incredible wife, and what are the values that you are um, raising your kid with today in this world?
Went to a dinner with two of my friends last night. Um, they're very close to me. They're both single. They're probably 10 years younger than me. And they kind of asked me the same, like, how do you do it? How are you a father? How are you, asking me really good questions about being married. For most people, especially guys at 28, they're still not ready to if they choose to settle down. And so they just had some really good questions for me. I'll tell you, when I found out I'm having a child, there's something like a switch in my head that went off. And it's like my priorities started to shift. Um, and it just didn't happen overnight, but it started to shift. And so now I kind of split up my day into three. Third of my day is with the family. Third of the day is focusing on me, my health, my well-being, and then a third of it's at my business. And then what I've done now is there's like 2 or 3 events that I like to dance, Megan, as you
I know.
and so there's like 2 or 3 events in the year that are sacred to me. One of those is Mardi Gras in New Orleans, one of those is Burning Man, and then I try to just maybe pick one more in the year. And that'll what I've found is, as a father, you need space to get away too. You need time to recalibrate, you need to like, for me, when I say you need space, you gotta find something that brings you joy outside of just being around your family, because when I go and I come back, I'm charged up. I'm reloaded. I miss my family. There's a beautiful thing about going away for a few days and then coming back really wanting to be around them, and it gives them energy when I come back full of life, you know? So that's what I would tell a new father is, yes, it's beautiful to be around your kid and you need to do that, and but it's also really important to get away and find the passions in your life that fill you up.
Yeah.
And the kid is not listening to you. He's watching you. He's watching how you eat. He's watching what you eat. He's watching how you interact with your wife. He's not listening to you.
True.
um,
He's your mirror. Wow.
he- he's my mirror. And yeah, they're just taking it all in, but they're mainly observing how you react in different things, and they're pushing your boundaries. They're testing your boundaries at all time. And so if you're not on your A game and you're not taking care of yourself, it's going to make it a lot harder. Yeah. And that's where
Incredible.
you need to be. I think one of the biggest lessons in the raising of the child has been the precision of communication with my wife. I think when the precision, you have to learn how to be precise with communication, and you have to plan more, and you have to organize, and you have to check in with, okay, what do you need to support me? What do you need? We just went on a 3-week vacation, and it has to be precise when you go on vacation, especially with a kid. There's more pressure. You're out of your element. The ease of life is not there. So you have to be in tuned on communicating. And so that's another big one. I would tell any new couple, spend time really focusing on communicating what you need, how much time you need away to go work out, or just whatever it is you need to come back is so important.
Hmm. Thank you. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just,
that's the journey.
wow. I see you really, what's the word? Devoted to your life, to yourself, to your kid, to your wife, to your family, to your business. And I really see it as a source of inspiration for, see you as a source of inspiration for many men. Um, because it's like you don't, your energy is not leaking in like thousands of places. Like you're focused, and exactly as you shared in the beginning, you value what is truly sacred to you, and you took the time to sit with those questions, with these values. And that makes me feel, when I see you, it's like, wow, that's a man that he knows what he's doing. And it creates this certain, like, I'm safe within myself. But when I'm with you, and this is what I felt, the first time we met, when you were like, hey sister, how are you? I just felt like, whoa, it's rare. Like it's been very rare that I felt that with a man, like this deep presence, and nothing leaking, like nothing ambiguous. Like it's like, you're here, I'm your sister, that's it.
Mm. Yeah,
And
that's
yeah, I just
cool.
want to share my appreciation for
I'm
that.
glad you felt safe around me because that, I mean, it's just almost like an understanding within me that that's the way I want you to feel, you know? It wasn't trying either, like you said, it just, that's
Yeah.
what happened. One other thing I think it's important, I kind of skipped over, but I want to bring up, I got to this place through experiences that were not aligned or
Yeah.
were painful or, yeah, painful. So, for example, like the way now so I needed to realize I'm doing too much, or yeah, I'm doing too much. So let me start with my business. So when I had the child, one of the clear messages was, "You're working too hard." Okay, so then we go back to the thing I told you earlier. You write down what you want. I wanted to be home more. I wanted to be around my kid more, right? So I wrote it down. What do I not want? I don't want to be working as much. So, okay, how do I get there? Okay, it took me 8 months to figure this out, that I'm a control freak, that I'm controlling every little thing in my business, and it's first of all draining my energy, it's taking time away from my family. And so then I had to really go back to the sheet of paper and go, okay, I need to delegate some tasks. So I started to delegate tasks, and then I started to hone in what I want from these people that are going to be doing these tasks. So this has been my challenge now. I'm not working in the business, I'm working on the business. And what I'm doing now is I'm trying to fine tune the operations and the reporting so I can get everything from my phone and tell me what's going on with my business without having to be here. And it just took me time to get here to become efficient. But the focus was from the beginning, I want to spend more time with my family. Now I need to delegate more. But it was fear that was preventing me from getting to this point. But you have to deal with it. You have to face it head on, and it's going to get you the thing you desire. You have to face the fear. And so facing it allowed me to do, like, for example, after this podcast, I'm going to work out, and it's, 3:30, 4 o'clock here in Dallas. So that's the thing. You just got to face the fear, and you got to figure out what you want. And there's going to be experiences that bring pain that are going to teach you, okay, I need to focus on this now. And you just start fixing the holes, if you will, to the boat.
Hmm. Love that. Yeah. So you're literally saying that our fears are our biggest allies.
They're the ally. The fear is going to bring you freedom if you face it.
Amen.
The fear is going to bring you freedom. It's going to bring you your goal. It's without the fear, you're not going to have your goal. So yeah, um, I can tell you in the last 4 years, my business has transformed. Another thing is the minute I stopped, what's interesting, people may be scared of like, oh, if I let go of control, there's going to be mistakes and I'm not going to make as much money. Okay, right? Most people would fear that. Okay, in my instance, the minute I started delegating, the income went like this. It's crazy. Like it just went like this. The opportunities started coming. And the staff I have now, I needed to also learn which people can work with me and some people cannot, and that's okay. And you let them go on their way. So I had to deal with the fear of firing. And now it's like I understand. I interviewed somebody this morning. I know the right questions to ask. I understand the responses now. I know what to look for. So I'm hiring better. I'm firing better. I'm I know how to set expectations better because I'm working on the business instead of in it, and I can see the whole forest.
Hmm.
So that's been really cool for me too.
Hmm. That's amazing. Hmm. Yeah. It's like this on this life in this life in our lives. We are all what I see is like we are all born the same, you know. We all have certain belief system and conditions and all of this. And but there are people that choose to face what's hard and that's what make them grow, and some people don't, and so they stay in the same place. And so the fear becomes, instead of like being here and facing the fear, which is, fear is not bad, it's a lie, right? But it becomes like a monster. It's like eating you.
I
And
think the important question is to write down, do I want to grow? Like, okay, so the goal, again, you want to go to Italy, but the next question needs to be, do I want to grow? Because if I want to grow, I need to change my mindset. I need to face my fear. There's something, if I want to grow, I need to do something that's uncomfortable. And so that's the best question to start with is like, do I want to grow? Yeah. Okay. Then write down the actions you're going to take that make you face the uncomfortable. What the next question would be, what makes me feel uncomfortable? There's your fucking goal.
Mhm.
go go straight that way. What makes me feel uncomfortable? Public speaking. Go public speak until you get comfortable. Um, whatever it is, go do it.
Yeah.
Write it down. I dancing. I don't like to dance in front of other people. Go dance in front of other people. I can guarantee you, most of the people dancing are lost in their minds. Just go get in the middle of them and dance. And yeah, I think that's the way to grow. Just keep doing what's uncomfortable until it becomes comfortable, and you're gonna grow. You're gonna have insights and wisdom from these experiences. You're gonna be more confident. You're gonna believe in yourself more. You're gonna start to see that nothing is impossible. Nothing. And so, yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
that's it.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're here, and again, I would love to bring to the surface the topic, sensitive topic of what's happening in Palestine and in between Palestine and Israel. And yeah, I feel it's it's a sensitive topic that it's important to speak about from a grounded place that not everyone has, like the energetic capacity and the words to speak on, and I know you have. And so yeah, because it's easy to get lost in thousands of stories and this side or that side to get sucked into more war, which is what this entity, this force wants you to be sucked in, right? And so, and to feel confusion and like to be a victim, right? And so yeah, I don't have a very specific question, but I would love to
I
hear
love it.
your to
I
hear you
love
on
it. No,
that.
just the topic and then freedom, the way it should be. So I think there's kind of a couple of points I want to make. So I grew up every summer going back home and spending significant amount of time in the summers from the ages of 4, 5 until the time I was 18. Um, Significant time there, and significant time spending in the West Bank of Ramallah and Jerusalem and Jericho, and then getting into Tel Aviv, where I also have family in Tel Aviv. So I've been fortunate enough to see a lot. The one thing I want your viewers to know, Palestinians have a very big cup of love inside of them. The portrayals and the images on most media outlets are just are just horrific in the way they present Palestinians. And this is one of the this is one of the ways that you dehumanize the Palestinians by making them look less than human. I'll just When I say the big capacity to love, they're some of the most loving people on earth. I just think about my mom and dad, and literally, if you meet my mom or dad, they're like royalty from love. There's no other way to put it. They are just the most tender souls on earth. And that's how everybody is there, right? There are some bad people, but for the majority of people, they're good people. Um, the second thing is I'm Palestinian Christian, and it doesn't matter to me what religion you are, but there's no mention of Christians there and how they're being brought into this. And it's so interesting that America is a country of that's based in Christianity, and most Americans don't even know that Christians are in the middle of this. And so that's just something I want to bring up. And then third, I have a very good friend. He's Israeli, and he inspires me. His name's Adar. I met him at Envision in Costa Rica, and we've had some synchronistic moments where we met again. And he's bringing light. He's trying to bring solutions, and we need more people like that. You know, um, Anybody that thinks that war is going to solve this problem is out of their damn minds. It's just going to bring more suffering. Um, and I think if we can just take sides out of it and just say, okay, we want all the people there to have the same equal rights. If we can just start there, take that first step. How do we maybe over 20, 30 years have a plan where everybody has the same equal rights and everybody's treated fairly? Then I think we can start to bring about peace. But it has to be there. How do we start with equal rights? How do we give everybody the same opportunity to thrive? And so, yeah, those are the big things that come up for me in the topic. I one last thing. So I have Palestinian family that lives in Tel Aviv. I have Palestinian family that lives in the West Bank. And the West Bank is so there's two political parties that are Palestinians. You have the Fatah, which is a moderate group that are they represent the PLO in the West Bank. And then in Gaza, you have Hamas. Okay. So just leave it at that. Um, in my family in Tel Aviv, in a way, they don't understand what's actually happening in the West Bank because they're living in a different world. It's a different bubble for them. The media they get, the news they get, it's not what's actually happening there. They're not seeing the war every day. They're seeing beaches and restaurants and a different lifestyle. And so for most, I think the biggest thing I would tell an Israeli is, can you be open-minded to what your reality is in Israel is completely different in the West Bank? I'm not talking about in Gaza. I'm talking about in the West Bank, in Ramallah. Um, because the problem is most Israelis haven't been in those areas to actually see what's going on. So their perspective is what we see on the news. And what you see on the news is not necessarily the real perspective. And so I would just invite any Israeli, okay, you have this perspective. You've seen this on TV. You've seen this on social media. Can you just be open to the idea that most Palestinians are living in a different, they have different rights, they have different freedoms, they have the inability to travel, they're controlled electricity, they're controlled water, they're controlled a lot of different things, and they're under essentially a military occupation. Can you just be open to that idea? And if you open up to maybe this is a possibility, you can start to then have compassion for the reason why these people are getting very angry and they're resorting to very violent ways because they're not given the same rights. They want to have the same things you have, but they don't have it. So I think that's really important. Um, and, and as a Palestinian, I also want to be compassionate to Israel. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that are waking up and speaking out it, for peace. And these are the people we need. We need everybody to come forward and speak about peace. You know, um, there was a quote. Um, I want to pull it up. I had a quote. It was essentially a man who promotes peace. Peace is the strongest possible man because it's a sign of strength. The showing up in a peaceful way is a sign of strength because you're so sure there's no insecurities, there's no fears. And so I think that's the problem is these dark energies are playing into everybody's fear and convincing people that war is the way. And it's how many lessons have we had in the past where war is not the way? What have we accomplished? We're just killing each other. And as American, it's wild because I'm working my ass off with my business, and a big portion of my the money I earn goes to the military, corporations to then go in and bomb my people. It's like I'm working my ass off to kill my own people. And so it's just that's the interesting that's the interesting thing how bizarre this is. And I would just man, if you're out there, you have to understand that they're playing into your fears, that war is not the answer. It never will be.
Yeah. Yeah. It all starts within us first.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Also understanding that war is about one thing. It's about money. You know, it's about greed. It's about we just enter these wars and it's all about money. Somebody's benefiting financially, and it's not to promote peace. That's not going to be the solution. Um, it should be always the last measure. There should be diplomacy. And I think about this. I've thought about it my whole life. How we create peace, and it definitely starts from within me. Um, but when you see something that's just injustice or or wrong, we have to speak out. We have to use these powerful voices to speak out, and that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to find the right moments to speak out and let people know, please, let's come together. Let's uh let's talk about our similarities because there's so many. And let's talk about our fears. What are you scared of? What are you scared? Are you scared of me, guys? Like, I'm not going to do anything to you. I'm Palestinian. Most Palestinians are like me. I see myself in all those kids being killed right now because they look like me, they talk like me, um, and I see myself in them, and it's because they are me. They're connected to me. So yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Um, yeah, I feel yeah, there were many few things that were coming to me. Yeah, I just took a moment of silence for it.
Take your time. I love
Yeah.
it. Take your time.
Yeah, for just a moment of silence, of just sending my prayers. And yeah, what I've been connecting to this past few years is the power of prayer. You know, I asked to God, what can I do? And I was just guided to pray. Pray.
Hmm.
Don't
Yep.
forget the power of prayer. Don't forget the
100%.
power of prayer.
Yep.
And gather with your sisters, pray, speak on it. That's it. The antidote of separation is connection,
Hmm.
you know?
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
the fly here. Yeah.
I want to share one quick story. When I got to Burning Man last year, I set up my DJ equipment next to there was an art exhibit. One of the friends of mine she's Israeli. She's in my camp, and they set up an art exhibit for the memorial for the people that died in Israel on October 7th. So I set up, which is pretty beautiful, a Palestinian setting up music outside of that memorial. So I started playing, and this couple came up and started dancing, having the best time, and then they came around and they started connecting with me. And she asked me, "What's your background?" And I said, "I'm Palestinian." And she looked at me and just melted in my arms and started bawling, crying. And she looked at me after she got done crying and said, "You're the first Palestinian I've ever met. I never met a Palestinian before." And it was so powerful, Megan, um, for me, because I felt like she's healing. It's like, oh, she understands who I am. She sees me. 4 days later, at 6 in the morning, I'm dancing, having the best time of my life. I turn around and there they are again. And she comes to me, we hug again, and she said, "You wouldn't believe it. You've changed my life. I called my family. I told all my family about you. Um, it just literally changed my whole perspective." And so this is what I would invite anybody out there, any Israeli, just come meet a Palestinian. Just
Mm.
come fucking meet us. Come
Mhm.
ask us, how you doing?
Wow.
What are you working through? Like, I want to get to know you. And you're gonna find out that we got a lot in common. Um, so yeah, I just think we need to get to know each other more. We need to realize that we're literally the same people. And that was really healing for me too, to meet her, because I knew I impacted her without even trying, you know? So I wanted to share that with you. Um, Also, the more Israeli friends I meet, I have many Israeli friends I meet, and I think we all want the same thing, you know? And
Absolutely.
then I have some Israeli friends that think that war is the only way, and it's very interesting for me to navigate that, but you know, they're entitled to their opinion. I'm not going to change my opinion
Mhm.
when it comes to peace, but I think it's important for me when they want to interact, I continue to hold space for them, and when asked, I'm going to give them my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I feel yeah, today we live in such sensitive times, you know, when we just take a little step back and take this higher perspective. I feel that, and it's not I feel, it's happening. We live in a time of collapse, you know, it's happening in this world. You know, a lot of things are coming up to the surface, including these atrocities. and and at the same time, we live in the time of great remembering. And indigenous prophecies have been talking about this for thousands of years, about this moment that we are living in. Scientists now talk about this too. Um, that, yeah, things are changing a lot in the world, and I feel that it's important for each and every one of us to remain in our hearts, to remain in peace, yet not to ignore, because this is what's happening, but to remain in peace, because peace is our greatest revolution right now, and to peace and connection, and speaking on this as we are doing right now on this podcast. I feel there is great, how can I call it, a great perfect algorithm right now, because of the fact that, yeah, we live in this era of technology, and we can think, oh, it's too much, and where are we going, and AI, and da 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 da. But no, it's perfect. It's a perfect algorithm, because it's here for a reason. Technologies and social media, they're here because it allows people to speak and to share this love, this energy, this truth, and to share that frequency, and that can ripple out into the world. And so it just came to me right now, because I was receiving the question, how, like, what can we do? But we are already doing it. We're already doing it right now. Just connecting, speaking,
Yep.
sharing, praying.
Yep. Yep. That's it. Yep.
And
Little
yeah,
by little, it's little mushrooms being planted. That's it.
absolutely.
Yeah. And yeah, it's like anything. You got to take one step at a time. And that's what we're doing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Sometimes we get so focused on the final outcome that we forget the little things that are creating peace in this moment, you know?
absolutely. Yeah. Well, yeah. And this conversation is definitely making me feel like, yeah, it's as I was sharing with you earlier, it's a prayer right now. It's a prayer. So
Hmm.
I'm grateful, so, so grateful for this conversation.
I am too. It's been beautiful. Um, I'm so grateful that you had me on, honored that you had me on. And yeah, if anybody has questions or um, follow-ups, please, I would love for y'all to reach out to me.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
anybody's ever in Dallas and they want to connect, please. I love connecting, so
Hmm.
hit me up. I'll give them
Perfect.
my cell phone if you're cool with that. Yeah, it's 504-251-4086. If anybody has questions or just want to connect, I'd love to connect with you. And yeah, I'm so grateful that y'all have spent this time listening, and
Hmm.
hopefully something that I've said or Megan said has resonated with you or inspired you. I can tell you that inspiring people, I'm not trying to, but inspiring people lights me up. And yeah, because I think about the moments in my life that I've been inspired, I get lit up. And so I think we're just trying to turn everybody's light bulbs on, right? Um, I believe in you without knowing you. I believe in you because I believe in myself. We're all capable of doing anything we want. We just need to face the things that are limiting ourselves, and we as a community can create anything we want, you know? So thank you, Megan. I love you.
I love you too, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your number. It's so beautiful. Like, and I'm telling to the audience, don't hesitate, like, to reach out, because I know, like, I've been listening to many podcasts, and at the end, people are sharing the contact, and I've been, like, sometimes like I've been connecting with some people, but takes like this, should I do it? Like, no, do it. Do it. It's here. It's here.
If the
It's
question is, should
easily.
I, if it pops up in your head, should I do it? Just fucking do it. Let's go.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. I feel pretty complete. Do you? Do you have anything else to share?
Yeah, just again, thank you. This was beautiful. I can't wait to watch it again.
Yeah, me
And
too.
man, I hope to see you soon, okay?
Me too, brother. Me too. Thank you so much. Thank
Bye,
you.
man. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into this first episode with us. I appreciate you for being here. And let me know in the comments if this first episode has evoked something in you. And until next time, thank you for being here.